Regular BBC daytime viewers will recognise these giants of the antiques world who light up our screens with their wisdom and charm.
I've more than doubled my money.
But what sort of things do our experts get up to when they're not on the telly? Well, we're about to find out, as over the course of 1 week, we'll be seeing one pair of plucky heavyweight dealers face a different daily challenge. Some of those challenges will be familiar territory.
Yes!
Some will be pitching our experts into the unknown.
Bang, bang, bang.
They'll be going head-to-head in a battle for profit, showing us how they've risked their own money and reputations by recreating some of their real-life deals.
Profit, profit and more profit.
And if the stakes weren't high enough already, each expert has a favourite charity that will be benefiting from their profits. The challenge to our experts is clear. Put your money where your mouth is. Today's finely honed experts are the smooth-talking Jonty, the hitman Hearnden, and the irrepressible Eric Knocker Knowles. Jonty's status as the housewife's favourite comes from rooting around for cash in the attic and globe-trotting on sun, sea and bargain spotting. Eric, meanwhile, is very much the senior professional, with 27 years under his belt on the Antiques Roadshow, and he never lets the side down when it comes to being the most dapper dealer in the business.
Sorry, can't stop.
We have the experts, they have the knowledge, the contacts and a fierce desire to win. So, without further ado, it's time to find out the name of today's game.
Well met, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much indeed.
We can see eye to eye for a change.
Stay where you are. Stay where you are. It's a first for me. Now listen.
I've got a present for you.
And I've got one for you.
Thank you for that.
All right.
All right.
Shall I go first?
Go on then.
I think that's the instruction. Let's have a look. Now, here we go. Eric and Jonty, your challenge is to spend £1,000 of your own money.
Makes a change.
You must then resell what you purchase with the aim of making as much profit as possible.
OK, well, I've got this one here. This is your free-for-all. You can buy whatever you like, wherever you like. The winner is the presenter who makes the most cash. Good luck.
Yes. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is pontificate. Then speculate and hopefully accumulate.
OK.
OK?
Off you go. You do all of those things. I'm going to make some money. See you.
So, for their final challenge, it's anything goes for our dynamic duo. They've got £1,000 of their own money to play with, and they can spend it in any way they like. But the aim of the game is still the same. They have to try and make as much profit for their charities as possible.
I'm really quite excited. I've been free from my shackles because now it's the free-for-all. I have been given carte blanche to buy whatever I want to buy for £1,000 and sell to whoever I like. So sky is the limit. What I am going to do, I'm going to try and find my buyers before I find the items to purchase. Radical thinking, eh?
Radical indeed, Jonty. The hitman is going to put together a portfolio of selected pieces that he can use to entice prospective buyers. He wants some clients lined up before he splashes the cash, so he's off to visit a whole series of antique shops to find the right items to photograph for his portfolio.
Hi, Rita. How are you?
Very well, Jonty. How are you? Nice to see you.
Yeah, it's nice to see you too.
Good old Knocker Knowles, though, is taking a more traditional approach.
So what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to stick to what I know. I'm going to play it safe. I'm going out to as many antique centres as I can find. And I've found that Sawbridgeworth is packed with them. The idea is I'm going to go out there, I'm going to look for primarily ceramics, pottery, porcelain. I'm also going to look for Art Nouveau, Art Deco, Oriental. In short, I'm going on a ceramic binge. Now, I know it's out there, but it's finding it at the right price. But I'm setting off with a determined stride. Once again, Eric Knowles is a coiled spring just waiting to get into the action.
Blimey, this free-for-all challenge seems to have got both our experts fired up. And as Eric Coiled Spring Knowles sets off on his hunt for potentially profitable antiques, Jonty's looking for pieces that he can photograph and put in his portfolio.
Oh, this is a fun room. Now, I like that two-door cupboard over there. Sometimes these would have originally had shelves in. In fact, wardrobes were only really invented or created, were popularised in the mid-19th century. Before that, all clothes were laid out in cupboards like this on shelves. Now, what do we got here? Here's your ticket. Oh, it's reserved already. And the price here is £1,350, so that's way beyond my budget. But my eye was instantly taken by it.
The wardrobe might be a bit pricey, but with years of experience flogging fine furniture under his belt, Jonty's quick to spot items within his price bracket.
Oh, now this is interesting. We've got two contrasting chairs here. Now, I'm looking for a chair to be recovered, so I'm just looking at the shape, not the quality of the condition of the fabric. So here, this chair here, I just love the shape of this chair. I love the scroll arms. I love the shape of the seat and the buttoning on the back. That's a very nice shape indeed. And contrast it with this more simple shape and simple form. Now, this is a leather, and you can tell it's leather because it's all dried out on this arm, so you can tell very clearly that this is leather. Now, for my money still, I still have to say that I think this is a very commercial shape still. And as a consequence, one can recover this and completely change the feeling and the quality of this chair. Recovered, this will be completely and utterly transformed. So here we have a price of £580, which is a very reasonable price for a chair of this shape and quality. So I'm going to take a picture of this one, and I'm going to reject this out of hand because I know that I'm going to struggle to sell something like this.
So the chair is the first piece to go into Jonty's portfolio, but once the camera's out, it's not long before the hitman is snapping away like a happy paparazzo. He might be flashing away like it's London Fashion Week, but not everything is good enough for his portfolio.
Now, there are some things I'm just not going to take a picture of. I mean, take a look at this. It's grotesque. It's so grotesque that I think Eric might be attracted to it, you know?
Harsh words from the hitman. Whilst he's storming around doing his best impression of David Bailey, though, Eric is hunting for potentially profitable antiques. But what's he looking for?
To be frank, I haven't got a clue. But all I know is when it's out there and I spot it, it'll have almost like a red light flashing above it. I mean, what you see here is sort of pottery galore, and I am in my element because I don't mind telling you, I am a potaholic. I just get off on pots. Sad, but true.
That's not sad at all, Knocker. You might not know exactly what you're looking for, but you go ahead and love those pots as much as you like. There are hundreds of pots for Eric to sort through here, but after looking at pot...
Close, but not close enough.
After pot...
It's not 100% for me.
After pot...
I don't think so.
The all-important red light finally flashes above a pewter tray.
Well, this object's caught my eye. It looks like silver. It's not, in actual fact. It's, believe it or not, it's pewter, which has been polished. But it's not just pewter. It says on the bottom of here, does it say? It says English pewter. Well, it could have said something else, because English pewter and Tudoric pewter are one of the same. And Tudoric pewter was retailed and made for Liberties and designed by Archibald Knox. And I like it. I like it a lot. Price is not too bad, but it just does have one problem, and that is this has obviously belonged at some stage to somebody who believed that cleanliness was next to godliness, and it has taken a fair amount of the definition away when it's been polished over the years. So I'm looking for what you might call a surefire sell, and as much as I like it, I'm just going to err on the cautious side. It's just not ticking every box. It ticks 9 out of 10. But I'm looking for a tenner. And by that, I'm not looking for a yo. I'm looking for a 10. Forget it.
Oh, no. That flashing red light has switched to amber. Despite being surrounded by hundreds of antiques, Burnley's favourite Potterholic is struggling to part with his cash.
The simple truth is that at this moment in time, there is just not enough profit left in that for me to be interested.
But despite his failure to pick out anything he thinks he can make a profit on, he's remaining resolutely optimistic.
Living in hope. I've got this burning sensation just here. It's called £1,000 in cash. Can you see it smouldering? I just want to pull it out and spend it.
Steady on, old boy. You need to find something that's worth pulling it out for. And after another lengthy browse around the shops,
one would describe this as a fake. The market for bisque figures just seems to have evaporated in recent years. I'm going to give this one a miss.
he finally spots another flashing red light.
Well, as you can see, this is a very sophisticated display insofar as what goes around comes around, quite literally. And I'm going to... I can get into this. Excellent. So let me just grab this character and just make sure that he's all there. Always watch the base, because they're normally pegged into the base. Now, this chap started off life in China, sometime around about 1880 through to... He could be as late as about 1920. But he's carved out of soapstone, or to give it its proper geological term, steatite. And just look at the carving on that face. I mean, this fella cheers me up. And anybody who can cheer me up at the moment, I'm going to take home with me.
Hang on to your hats. After much umming and ahhing, it sounds as though Knocker is finally going to try and buy something.
Excuse me, madame, could I ask you? I'm looking at a price tag there of £28. Now, if I can use a well-worn phrase, what's your best?
Well, as a Jew, Eric.
Yes?
£20.
£20. Yes. Now, hang on a minute. The way you said that is definitely a north of Birmingham accent I'm listening to there.
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Capital of Ireland.
Of course.
Yes.
OK, right. Well, that's really kind to know. You must have been a northerner to be so generous. I don't want to say too much, but I'll have it.
We have to stick together.
We have to stick together. You must be doing missionary work down here. Well, I'll take him if you'd like to
yes, I'll
wrap him.
up
I'll go and get me cash, which is smouldering in my pocket. I've been desperate to buy things, desperate.
At last, Eric's put his hand in his pocket and spent the dizzying sum of £20. Don't forget, our experts can spend up to £1,000, and whilst you might be forgiven for thinking it could take Eric until doomsday to spend that much, after carefully weighing up his options, he's returned to that pewter tray.
Well, you know, I've had a really good look around this place, but, you know, that Tudor, that English pewter tray by Archibald Knox I told you about, it's sort of nagging me a little bit, because I know that it's sort of worth the money. If I can sort of, well, the asking price was 170. If I can get it for less than 150, I'm pretty certain that I could be in for making a profit. I don't think I'm going to lose, so there's no harm in asking anyway.
Oh, go on, Eric. Ask. Ask.
I've got an interest in this particular tray. Now, the big question is, it's I don't know whether you know what day it is today, but it's Be Kind to Eric Knowles Day today.
Right, let me have a quick look.
OK.
Have a look at the dealer's ticket.
You know, with patter like this, Eric deserves a bargain just on effort alone.
Right, the best on that one will be 140.
140. It's right as rain, isn't it?
It is.
No repairs on it, anything like that?
No, it is.
OK, well, let me shake that dealer's hand by proxy.
No problem.
And say you're on.
That's it, no problem.
And after much toing and froing, Eric's bagged himself another sale. But despite being allowed to buy whatever he wants from wherever he wants, he's finding the free-for-all challenge tough going.
I'll tell you what, this is turning out to be an awful lot harder than I had originally anticipated.
Don't forget, both our experts can spend up to £1,000 in any way they like. So far, Eric has bought just 2 pieces and spent £160. He's barely scratched the surface of his kitty, but he's a long way in front of his rival because Jonty is playing the long game and so far hasn't parted with a penny. The hitman is playing a risky game today. He's gambling on finding potential buyers for his wares before he spends his money. One of his regular clients has invited a select group of friends to her house, and Mr. Hearnden is on his way over to give them their very own antiques Tupperware party. He's going to give them the full Jonty.
Hi, girls. Hi, how are you doing? Thanks so much for taking time to see me.
The pressure is on. Jonty's success all comes down to his salesmanship and his ability to secure buyers for the items in his portfolio.
Now, the first item that I've got here, interestingly, has got nothing to do with furniture at all, but these are silver-plated coasters. Now, of course, these are designed for wine bottles, and original silver ones, or solid silver ones, are £300 to £400 if you want a Georgian pair of coasters. But I was attracted to these because they're plated, so they have the look, but without the price tag.
I
So
love the shape.
yeah. So is that something that might interest
Yeah,
you?
I'm very interested in those.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, good, my first picture.
Right,
Excellent.
where are you going to put those? No,
Jonty's laying on the full Hearnden charm, and it seems to be working. He's got one potential buyer, but can he get any more?
Now, this is interesting. I am big into Perspex designed lamps and tables, side tables. So what we've got here is a picture of a Perspex lamp. These are 1960s, 1970s lamps, and all of these, interestingly, are imported from the States.
That's exactly. I'm looking for something like that
Yeah?
for the drawing room.
They do.
This sounds promising. He's got another nibble.
So, Sarah, just to make it really clear, you would like me to find you a lamp base similar to this one?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
maybe with a little bit more sharper edges, even.
Okay.
So yeah, that would be great.
Fantastic.
It sounds as though the ladies are impressed with a full Jonty bespoke service. So the hitman's got two potential buyers, but he needs more. And whilst he continues to wow them with his fine furniture and silky smile, Knowles is relying on more traditional methods. He's headed to the home of one of his old contacts in Chester.
Hello, Eric.
Mr. Daniels, how are you? Well, nice selection, Steve. I should have warned you in advance, however, that I'm actually just looking for Art Deco because I'm going to go off to an Art Deco fair. Now, that is, that shouts Deco, doesn't it? That really does. So
That's 1930s again. That's a lamp. This one's German, and it's got a wooden base. It's got a stamp mark, WMF.
Oh, yes.
It's a German mark.
This one I do know. This is the Württembergische Metall- und Warenfabrik.
Correct.
How about that, eh?
I've never heard it said better.
Well, after showing off his cunning linguistics, Eric spotted another potentially profitable piece. He's interested in this eye-catching Art Deco barometer, and having picked out his pieces, it's time to try and do a deal.
How much are we talking on the WMF?
That one
Yep.
is £150.
And the barometer?
The very fine barometer is £80.
So we come to £230. OK. Is there any point me asking? Let me write down what I'm thinking. £180. Does that come close? I've got to try.
If we compromise at 200, how would that sound for the two pieces?
200 for the two.
Yeah.
I think when I write that, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking yes. Yes, OK.
All right.
Oh, you've got a deal.
OK.
All right.
Well done, Knowles. He's got to be chuffed with that one.
OK.
Well, so far so good. I've got two objects which I'm quite happy with. I'm playing to my strengths here. Well, I hope I am. Art Deco has always done it for me. I'm also conscious that my competition in the form of the boy Hearnden is going to be playing to his strengths, and those strengths basically amount to big lumps of wood that he calls furniture. But I'm not losing any sleep on this one.
Well, Eric sounds confident, but he can't afford to get complacent because back in Oxfordshire, Jonty Hot Stuff Hearnden is wowing the ladies with his portfolio of antiques. He's got two potential sales already, but he's pushing for more.
So, Lizzie, is there anything you're looking for?
Well, I'm looking for some chairs, sort of comfy, sitting on chairs.
If you can see this particular chair here, for instance, now this is French. This is about turn of the century. The reason why I like these chairs is because they have a shape to them, a form to them, and they have nice scroll arms. often the backs are shaped. So do you like something like that?
Yes, no, I do. That
Okay.
would be something like that would be great.
Well done, Jonty. That's another potential sale, and he also gets some interest in an antique chessboard.
They're rare, but to find
Right.
something like that, there might be something around and about.
It's been a successful afternoon for the hitman, but back in Chester, Knocker Knowles is proving that Jonty isn't the only ladies' man in town.
Fine figure of a woman, eh?
The dealer has brought into a shop where he sells some of his pieces, and one woman has really caught Eric's eye.
Look at that face. Sort of shouts Lorenzo, doesn't it? Now, £550.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, will £490 buy this girl? Bearing in mind, I've driven 4 hours here and I'm going to drive 4 hours back, and it's raining, and I'd like to drive back with a smile on my face.
All right, then.
490?
Bargain.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What a star. What a star. It's a deal.
Well done, Eric. Like an idol of the silver screen, Knocker Knowles has made a heroic bid for the woman he loves. She's a product of Joseph Lorenzel, one of the leading Art Deco sculptors in the 1920s and 30s, and she has real star quality. Now, don't forget our two experts can spend up to £1,000 on whatever they want. After a successful trip to Chester, Eric has now spent £850. Jonty, on the other hand, hasn't parted with any cash and still has the full £1,000 burning a hole in his pocket. Well, he might not have spent a penny so far, but it's time for the hitman to set off on the next phase of Operation Full Jonty. He's got a list of items his ladies are interested in, and some of their friends have also put in an order. It's good news, but the name of the game is to make as much profit as possible for charity. So he's on the hunt for some bargains.
So here I am at an antique centre, and the great thing about an antique centre is it's got rooms and rooms of different dealers, so there's all sorts of different kinds of stock. So I'm hoping there might be something here to find.
Well, if anyone can give the ladies what they want, it's the hitman, and once he's inside, it doesn't take him long to make his first find.
Now I've scoured the whole antique centre for coasters, because Meg was very interested in coasters. She wanted something to place into bedrooms, I think it was, to actually place bottles beside beds, etc., etc. So let's have a look at this pair. I've been attracted to this pair, and I think that this is the pair that Meg really might be attracted to myself, because for my money, I like the simplicity. These are plated, and somehow it almost looks like a crown. I think it's very stylish, but not OTT. These would have been made around the turn of the century, so they're about 100 years old. They're plated, but there's no wear on them, and it's under fussy. And at £95, if I can get them for slightly less, I think there's a profit in it. So I'm going to see what we can do. Hi, Claire. I've been attracted to these coasters. You've got £95 on them. Is there a better price? Can you do sort of 10% on those?
We can always help you if we can. Yes,
Yeah.
we can do 85.
£85?
Yeah.
Excellent. That's really good. I'll buy them at £85.
Well done, Jonty. That's his first buy. And now he's started spending, there's no stopping him.
You'll be very pleased to hear I've got a big shopping list.
Excellent,
All right.
that's what I like to hear.
After plenty of hunting and haggling, he snaps up a lamp
There's Mark 225 I can do for 175.
and an uncovered chair.
Can you do me 200 on that chair?
Sold.
You have a deal, sir.
With 3 buys now under his belt from some of his favourite antiques dealers, Jonty is now on a real roll.
That's a real beat your Eric Knowles price. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Jonty?
Mr. Hearnden might be splashing the cash, but don't forget, Knocker Knowles still has £150 in his kitty. And he's headed off to a place that's dear to his heart.
Well, for some people, all roads may lead to Rome, but for me, for some uncanny reason, they always seem to lead to Westerham. I mean, I've been coming here for the best part of 30 years, and the great thing about this antique town is that there is always something in there that you're able to buy. When I say in there, this place is dotted with antique galleries of one description or another. And I'm on this manic this manic mission today to spend several £100s. And the question I'm asking myself is, do I feel lucky? And the only thing I can say in return is, yes, I do. Fingers crossed.
Now, is it me, or is there a touch of the Dirty Harry about Mr. Knowles today?
Hi, John.
Eric, hello, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm just browsing.
Now, I think it's fair to say that Eric usually likes to take his time, weigh up his options, have a good think before getting his wallet out. After a few minutes in this shop, though, he's seen an Art Deco clock that's made his day, and he's moving straight in for the kill.
John, quick question. I like your clock. What's the asking price on that?
Well, I've just had it in, actually, and this is one of those quality clocks which you know is going to sell. But as it's you, I can sell this to you for £150.
Not only can you sell it to me today for £150, you just have done. So I'm going to say yes immediately to that. I'd love it.
Crikey, that was quick. Eric's bought his 6th item, and he's a happy man.
I'm pleased to say that Westerham's a happy hunting ground for me, both buying and selling, and I'm very happy to have bought this splendid Art Deco clock. It's got everything going for it. Now, the maker is somebody called Elliot. Now, to be honest with you, I'm not really interested in the actual movement. What I am interested in is the actual sculptural qualities of the piece, because it just shouts Art Deco. And at £150, I can tell you there is no way on this earth that I was going to leave it behind, because I reckon this is worth the best part of double that, and maybe even a little bit more. This clock has seen a lot of history, and it's playing a very important part in history today, because it's going to help me gain points. And the entire point of this programme is to give that Jonty Hearnden a damn good thrashing.
My word, steady on there, old boy. It seems that behind that gentlemanly veneer lies the heart of a true fighter. Unaware that Eric is keen to give him a good thrashing, Jonty's hunt for more potentially profitable pieces is in full swing. So far, he's spent £460 on 3 items, and he's got high hopes for his next find.
Now, this looks very promising indeed. I've been on the hunt for a games box for Sue, but when you're looking, there's just none around. It's a bit like buses. But the reason why I like this particular box is because it's a container as well as a games board itself. You can see we've got the outside here, part thereof. And of course, if you open it up, hopefully we've got something else on the inside. Look at that. We've got the backgammon interior too. So that's really very good indeed. So of course, you've got backgammon on one side, and you flip it over to reveal the checkerboard on the other side. How about that? So 2 for the price of 1. And what's so nice about this particular board, if I just flip it over like that, what's so good, it's in such good order. This would be a 19th century box, so probably a little bit difficult to date, but it has to be 1860 to 1900 in date. And all these checker pieces here are all hand inlaid. And look at this for a bit of detailing. We've even got stringing, so this will be boxwood stringing here, and again, ebony stringing on the inside too. So lots of detail, lots of attention to detail. So I'm going to flip it over again and have a look on the inside here. Now, I saw a price tag here somewhere. Here it is. £198, so that's £200 in my money. If there's a discount, then I think it's worth it.
Well, if anyone can do a deal and get discount, it's the Hitman.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi, Jonty. Oh, that's
yes, I love this.
really
I'm
nice.
Very interested in this.
Good.
Now, we've got a ticket price here of £198.
Right.
Can we do anything on that?
Sadly, we can't do much on that, but I can just round it down to 190 if that helps you.
190? Is that your best?
Afraid that is the absolute best. Sorry about that.
Is that all you can do? Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
190?
190.
Well, I do like the box, so go on, let's make a sale, because you've been very kind to me with all my other purchases. So,
good.
Perfect. We'll do that.
It's not a massive price cut, but Jonty's happy and he's off to try and pick up some more bargains. With a comprehensive contacts book and a ruthless negotiating streak, it's not long before he picks up a stool.
Do you know what? I'm going to buy that.
And a bedside cabinet.
That's sold. Put the sold sticker on that for me.
He's bought everything on his shopping list, so it's time to find out how much our two rivals have spent and what items they've bought. Eric Knowles has parted with £1,000 and will be selling a pewter cake stand, a striking Art Deco clock, a figure of an Oriental man carved from soapstone, a lamp base, a charming Art Deco barometer, and a beautiful Lorenzel figure. It's an impressive haul, but having spent £980, the hitman has also got 6 items to sell. He's hoping to cash in on a bespoke games board, a late 19th century French chair that needs upholstering, some silver-plated coasters, a French bedside cabinet, a perspex stool, and an attractive 1970s American lamp. So our experts have journeyed far and wide to secure the items they think will help them make the most profit and win today's free-for-all challenge. With 6 items each up their sleeves, this contest could go either way. And with the race on to secure the first sale, Eric has headed to the East End of London.
Well, you find me in the Bethnal Green Road because I've set up a meeting with Art Deco clock and watch dealer Raymond Bailey. Now, we've agreed to meet at this cafe, but it's more than a cafe because this is Pellicci's and this is an architectural gem. This place hasn't changed from around about 1930, so it is pure Art Deco. And I'm hoping that in these surroundings, my Art Deco marble clock is going to look just the part. And goes without saying, I hope he's going to part with some ready cash.
So, as Eric heads inside to try and do a deal, back in Oxfordshire, Mr. Hearnden has set off on the final phase of Operation Fool Jonty. His portfolio presentation drummed up some potential buyers. But the ladies haven't actually agreed to buy anything yet. The hitman still has to sell the pieces he's bought. And first on his list is the games board.
Looks all rather clandestine, doesn't it? I'm hoping that this is a small little box, but it's going to return me a sale of £250. I'm just going to meet Sue now.
Well, Jonty paid £190 for that board, so £250 would give him a tidy profit. But can he persuade Sue to pay that much?
Aha, coffee time.
Yes, now I can't wait to see
Fabulous,
this
thank you
box.
so much. Excellent, here we go. Right, reveal, reveal. There we go. Now, what we're looking at here is a 19th century mahogany box.
Yes.
English,
Yes.
British. There's no labels on it, which is absolutely fine, but it's the character of the piece that I'm really taken by. So not only do we have the drafts board on the outside, we also on the inside have the backgammon interior as well. So all of this is all hand inlaid. So we've got satinwood and ebony going on here. But if we flip it over, and there's your games board there. All right.
Yes.
Now, you were saying that you were interested in a games board or a games table, weren't you?
Well, yes, because I gave my husband some chess pieces last Christmas, so I'm actually looking for something he can now use them on.
All this sounds very promising for Jonty, and with his rival closing in on his first sale back in London, Eric needs to get cracking.
Good to see you.
And you.
So this is the little beauty. For me, the minute I saw it, it was just, I had to have it.
Yes, Eric, it is a very nice clock. It is late 20s, early 30s, I would have thought. White marble, black slate. The dial I'm not too impressed with. But that's basically because the British didn't embrace Art Deco the same way the Americans and French did. It's almost as though they didn't have the courage to go the whole hog. But it's still a very, very fine piece. It's a very, very nice clock and in perfect condition. No chips on the marble, no chips on the slate. So what is the nitty-gritty?
Well...
Yes, it didn't take that dealer long to ask the million-dollar question. Don't forget Mr. Knowles paid £150 for the clock, but can he bank a profit from it?
I must admit, I was hoping for around the 300 mark, but I'm open to negotiation.
I think 225 would be fair.
I think if I can twist that arm, I think even fair is 250.
250?
250.
Okay.
What a man.
Nice one, Eric. He's just made £100 worth of profit on the eye-catching Art Deco clock.
Goodbye, old friend.
And he's quick to bank another £20 by selling the carved soapstone figure.
Yeah, and I'd like to give it to you now, if that's all right.
Well, that's very kind of you.
Beautiful. Knocker Knowles off to a great start. But back in Oxfordshire, Jonty is having to work hard to try and persuade Sue to buy the games board.
I've got the pieces. It's interesting to see how they are size-wise.
OK, look at those. Wow.
Those are great.
Those are fabulous. Look at those. Now, those are the perfect size.
And then I can store these inside the box as well.
Yes, that's the whole point. So if one was to take these off, for instance, flip it over again, so you can store all your chess pieces on the inside like so. What do you feel about this particular games box?
No, I like this box.
Yeah?
I do love the colours. I think it's absolutely beautiful on this side.
Yes.
And it's a good size, so I'm...
And it's handsome enough to be on display.
Yes.
So the question is, this is £250, and I believe it to be good value.
Right.
Is it something you're still happy to buy?
I am very much, thank you. And that's my first Christmas present done.
You're sorted.
I'm sorted.
Yes.
So the hitman is off and running. He's made £60 on the games board, but as he heads off to try and seal a deal on the coasters, there's a problem.
Hello? Hi, Meg. How you doing? Oh, I was just on my way to see you. I've got the coasters with me. You're not going to be there all day?
Oh, this is bad news for the hitman.
OK, that's fine.
But he's quick to recover.
You still want them, though? Yeah, they're £120. Are you happy about that? Good. Bye. She's not there. I've got them in the back of the car, but that's not a problem at all. The great thing is, the most important thing is she's buying the coasters. Great. Onwards and upwards.
After selling 2 items each, there's nothing to choose between our 2 experts. And with everything still to play for, a suited and booted Eric is hoping to make a decisive sale in one of London's swankiest locales.
Well, here I am in a part of London that is best known for its sort of bespoke tailoring, but it's also the centre for many a fine art gallery. And there's one in particular that I'm keen to visit, and this is the gallery called Editions Graphiques, and these people have specialised for the best part of, dare I say, 3 decades in the very best of Art Nouveau, Art Deco and arts and crafts. And what's more, they've actually put on several exhibitions dedicated to this man. And this man, of course, is Archibald Knox. So fingers crossed, because this is a highbrow gallery and they don't deal in tat.
Now, fingers are crossed, Eric. Now get in there and show that Hearnden that he doesn't have a monopoly on charm.
Greta.
Very nice to see you.
And you too, and you too. I come bearing gifts of sorts. Well, not actually gifts.
Nice.
The only thing missing is a few cakes, actually, isn't it?
Oh, right.
Now, I realise there are 2 schools with this pewter, isn't there? There's those who like it grey and those who like it polished.
Yes, I think it depends on the patination, of course. You know, if it's nice and matte and dusky, or it just looks rather scratched and dirty, then it really is much better polished. The only thing is that if it's done on a machine, it flattens it a little bit.
I mean, that is going to be reflected in my asking price, because I know you're going to ask me eventually, what is my asking price?
Yes, he's a clairvoyant, isn't he? But can Mr. Knowles get more than the £140 he paid for the pewter cake plate?
Do you want to just show me how you do it? Well, I was hoping for somewhere in the region of around about £250.
It's a bit steep for me. A bit steep. Can we do any better?
Can we? My best price, is that what you're
Yes,
asking me?
yes.
My very best price on that is £220.
That's fair enough.
You think so?
Yes, I do.
Excellent. So, thank you, madame.
Yes, and another £80 hits Eric's kitty. He's pulling away from his rival, but up in Oxfordshire, Operation Full Jonty is in full swing, and Mr. H has arranged for one of his potential buyers to come to his shop.
Are you all right?
No, very well, thank you.
Glad you were passing.
This is lovely.
Now, don't forget, Lizzie was looking for an armchair, but has the hitman come up with the goods?
Anyway, one chair.
Oh, yes, well.
What do you think?
Oh, it's lovely. It's much smaller than I thought it was going to be. Yeah.
Okay. But I love the shape. It's got lots of movement to it. You've got the serpentine front, serpentine back, scroll arms.
Oh, he could sell snow to the Eskimos.
No, it's a pretty chair.
Have a seat.
Yeah. Oh, no, it is. It's quite low, but I like it, though.
Now,
Lovely.
that needs casters. If you sit in this chair, for instance, have a go in this one. I'll move this cushion for you.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. You see
Oh,
how
yeah,
much
that's much better.
That's the right height.
Yeah. You wouldn't sit in it for me, because, I mean, if my
Yeah.
husband sat in that chair, it might not be...
Okay, no, it's important to sit in the chair. There we go. Yes, it is a bit low. But it is comfortable.
No, but I mean, I love it, so I'm thrilled to go with it.
So yours for £350, are you happy?
Brilliant.
Another cheque, Eric Knowles, you hearing this?
I'm sure Eric's hearing you loud and clear, Jonty. £350 for an unupholstered chair is a great result, and the hitman has decided to give his rival a call and has left a message on Knocker Knowles' answer phone.
Well, it would appear that I've got a message here from one J. Hearnden. So let's have a see what the boy has to say.
Eric, it's your old mate Jonty, just checking in to say how you're getting on with your free-for-all.
Well, that's a bit presumptuous, my old mate Jonty.
I know that you have no idea what I've been up to, but I'll just give you a little clue. It involves a harem.
A harem?
Yes, that's right, a harem, a whole bunch of women, me and a bunch of women. Don't get jealous now. Hope you're doing well. Bye.
Oh, well, thank you, Jonty. That's the sort of message that I like to get from Jonty. Short and sweet. But the audacity of the man is, if he's in a room full of 300 women, he's got them there by some sort of devious means. He's probably hijacked some WI annual general meeting, and he's turned up with his van full of well-patinated Victorian firewood, furniture. But the audacity of him, the audacity. Oh, I tell you what, hey, the gloves have been thrown down. I'm ready for battle. Hey, I'm going to give that lad I'm going to give him a run for his money, don't you? You.
Well, I don't think Knocker's too impressed with that message, do you? He needs to focus his energies on selling, though, because at the halfway stage, he is lagging behind. Having sold 3 of his 6 items for £510, Eric's banked a profit of £200. It's a decent effort. Jonty's sold the same number of pieces for a whopping £720, so he's made an impressive £245 profit. Well, he might have ground to make up, but you can't keep a good man down, and Eric's headed to the stunning surroundings of Eltham Palace in South London to try and sell his remaining pieces at an Art Deco fair.
Well, I've brought along my German lamp base. It's by that firm WMF, or the Württembergische Metallenwaren fabric. It's so deco insofar as it's got that lovely geometrical band which has been gilded on a sort of almost matte black ground. But this fella is up for grabs today at an asking price of around £150. So let's go and see if I've got any takers.
Now, don't forget, Eric had to cough up £135 to buy that lamp base, so he's got his work cut out to make a profit on it.
Hello, is this your stand?
Yes, it is, yes.
I'm in the process of selling a few bits.
Right.
I don't know if it's the sort of thing that would appeal to you.
May I have a look?
Yeah, have a look, by all means. It should have a price tag on there, which you can't see.
Oh, it's invisible, so it's free then. This sort of bargain I like.
All right. Well, I was looking for around about a couple of £100 on it. So.
Right. Okay. Well, that's a little bit rich for me. So
Is it?
I would prefer to about 130.
130. What about £150? How does that sound?
Let me just think, because I've got to have it rewired.
Yeah.
Needs a bit of cleaning, but not too much. All right then, 150. Yes,
150?
Yeah, that'd be lovely.
Give it back to me.
Okay,
Put
then.
your hand there.
Thank you very
and
much.
the deal is done.
Thank you.
I'll just say, auf Wiedersehen, pet. See you later. All right.
Thank you.
Well, it's £15, but it's not much of a profit for Eric. And the pressure's building because he's also having problems finding a taker for his star item, the Lorenzel figure.
I wanted to show you my girl. I'd love your opinion on my figurine. And I'm looking for in the region of around about £600.
It's not actually for me.
You're looking at the wrong person.
It's lovely. I would love it for myself, but unfortunately...
No. Good to see you anyway.
Oh dear, Mr. Knowles is really struggling. So he's decided to try and tempt the lady who bought the Art Deco lamp base to part with more cash.
Hello again. Listen, forgive me, I didn't hear your name the first time around.
It's Cheryl.
Cheryl.
Yes.
I'm looking for somewhere in the region of around about £600.
Right. Well, she's absolutely exquisite. She's got a beautiful face. I really, really like the face. Couldn't find a better piece for me. But the price, well,
Yeah.
can't do 600 on her. I'd have to go hungry for at least month if I had to pay 600 for that. So
Well,
can't do that, I'm afraid.
Okay. Well, there's no harm in asking.
No, there's
All
no
right.
harm. I'm
Anyway.
not offended. But
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, back in Oxfordshire, Operation Full Jonty is still going great guns, and Mr. Hearnden has arrived at the home of another potential buyer who's interested in the 1970s Perspex lamp stand.
Hello.
There you are. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
One light?
Hey,
Yeah?
fantastic.
Like to come and see it?
Yeah, I'd love to. I'm glad you had luck.
The hitman paid a whopping £175 for the lamp stand, so he's going to need all of that famous charm to make a profit on it.
There it is.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it's, yes, similar.
That's
different,
right.
different though.
Well, they're all different.
Okay.
That's the great thing about these Perspex lights, is that I've never seen one quite the same as another. They're all similar, of course, but this one here has great shape and form because it's got angled tops as well. So we've got this frosted tiers and the clear break in between.
Well, I think in my room is quite dark.
Yep.
So I need it to illuminate. So I do actually need the light to work as a light as well. So.
The great thing about these particular lamp bases is they really come alive when you've got the light bulb on. In fact, if I hold it up to one of these lights here, you can just see how different it looks.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Can you see that?
Beautiful, yeah. There's so much light coming off it.
Jonty is pulling out all the stops, and he's saved his best line until last.
So, are you turned on enough to buy it?
Yeah, thank you. Absolutely. I'm lit up with excitement.
Nicely done, Mr. H. Now, can you secure a sale? So, price is just under the £300 for this. So, £295.
I'm surprised. I was expecting a bit more, so that's great.
So, are you happy enough to write me a cheque?
Yeah.
Not that I'm desperate.
Absolutely. Here, let me come this way.
Fantastic. Jonty's just banked £120 profit on the lamp stand.
Thanks for coming.
Oh, well done.
Perfect.
He's pulling away from his rival, but back at the Art Deco fair, Eric's found a potential taker for his barometer, and he's hoping that he can brighten up his day by getting more than the £65 he paid for it.
Well, the truth is, it's so busy in there, I can't hear myself think. But I've just been grabbed by the arm here by Emma, who's wanting to know more about my my Art Deco barometer. So, what can I tell you? I can tell you that it's made of polished white onyx. Yeah. It's got this black marble, which is actually Belgian slate. It's obviously a desk barometer. And date-wise, I would have thought probably around about 1930. Apart from that, I think it's probably fair to say that it is English. Well, certainly the movement is. And I can also say that they're very rare. You find lots of Art Deco desk clocks, but you rarely find the barometers.
Yes, I thought it was a clock, so that's why I came and had a look at it.
And you were also looking for a price tag on it, weren't you,
I was,
as well?
yes.
Well, I can tell you now, this is a trade price today, because I was just going to deal straight with the trade, and it's £150.
Okay, yeah.
Does that sound good to you?
Yes, it does.
It does?
Yeah.
We've never met before.
No.
You know, so I'll have cash.
That's good, because that's all I've got.
Oh, good. My typical. Put it there. Thank you.
Ah, he's a charmer, isn't he? An £85 profit is Mr. Knowles' best result at the fair, but he's still a long way behind his opponent. The hitman is a ruthless rival, though, and he's determined to drive home his advantage.
Thanks to the success of the coffee morning, I've picked up another contact. I've been introduced to another contact, a girl called Rena, and she's an interior designer, so she always needs bits and pieces. I've emailed her a few images, and she's contacted me back and says that she is interested in looking at some of these items. So in the back of the car as we speak, I'm on my way to meet her with the goodies to see if I can make a sale.
This could be a decisive sale for Jonty. He paid over £300 for his final 2 items, and if he can make a decent profit on them, it could be curtains for Eric.
There we go.
No, Jonty, I haven't committed to these, because I've only seen them on the internet.
That's fine, that's fine. Well, they should be all wrapped up on the back here. Here we go.
Okay, let's have a look.
You take that there.
Okay, very good.
As Jonty heads inside to try and persuade Rena to buy his final 2 items, back at Knowles HQ, Eric has hit the phone to try and find a buyer for that beautiful Lorenzel figure.
Hello, David. Hello. You've got the image. What do you think?
This is his last chance of beating Mr. H. But if he can get the £600 asking price, Eric could still come out on top.
And you're happy with the price? We are talking 600, yes? Yes. I'll see you. Bye. That's nice. I've just got the right price for the other woman in my life. And the other woman, of course, is my Lorenzel figure. It's another £100 worth of profit.
Eric seems pretty pleased with himself, and rightly so. The Lorenzel figure has catapulted him into the lead. And if Jonty wants to win today's challenge, he has to seal a deal for the bedside cabinet and the Perspex stool.
Wow, what a lovely room.
Well, thank you.
Fabulous. Right.
Thank you.
Let's do some unwrapping.
Okay.
Let's get these open up for you.
I'm interested in this piece.
So what do you think? What's your first impressions?
Well, this piece looks like it's very good quality, and it's the type of piece that I can use almost anywhere.
Does it matter what timber that one uses?
I prefer walnut.
Yes.
But I do like oak, and especially when it's nice and finished.
So what do you think about the stool?
I like the stool. I like Perspex.
Now, the swab cushion on the top there does come off.
Oh, does it? Good.
So you can recover that if necessary. I mean, I find it interesting that you've chosen 2 fabulous and contrasting pieces.
But I'd use those in the same room. I'd have no problem with that at a dressing table
Absolutely.
and that next to a bed.
And I see you have fabulous taste, so you're
thank
fine.
You. You're very kind, very kind.
So let's get down to business.
Okay.
Do you still like them enough to buy them?
Oh, this is do-or-die stuff for the hitman, and we'll find out very shortly if he was able to pull it out of the bag when we reveal the final results. So, after battling it out in today's make-or-break final challenge, how much cash have our experts made from their free-for-all extravaganzas? Eric spent a total of £1,000, whilst Jonty held back a little and spent £980. Don't forget, all today's proceeds will be going to charity. But now it's time for the moment of truth, to find out who is this week's Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is champion.
It's the biggie. It's the end of the week.
The final countdown.
So how was it for you?
Well, for me, it was not very easy.
It's a tough market out there, isn't it?
It is. It's very hard going. Shall we see where those profits have taken us?
Ready for this?
Okay.
One, two, three.
Oh,
very close.
The best man's lost, but that's another matter. Having said that, I'm told underneath that figure is a cumulative profit total for the past 5 days. And that's the one that really matters for me. So let's give it a go. There is a difference.
That's close.
It's not too bad.
That really is not bad.
I've got to take defeat with honour here, but with a result like that, Jonty, I'm going to have to emigrate. So, do you know the direction of Australia House?
I think it's this way, mate.
I'll follow you.
I'm sure Knocker's not going anywhere. It's a triumph for the hitman, though, and the deciding deal today was the £220 profit he made on the bedside cabinet and the Perspex stool.
So we're talking £275 per item.
Yeah, very good.
You happy about that?
I think that's a fair price. I do.
Even happier to write me out the cheque?
I will. If you'll maybe. Yes, I will.
Excellent. I'm really pleased with today's result. Very pleased indeed. In fact, lots of good profits on every single sale. It was the ladies that did me proud.
Thanks for coming.
Well, obviously, I've got to take my hat off to Jonty. The boy done well. I'd be frank with you, he did a lot better than I'd previously anticipated.
I've really enjoyed the competition. We've been to different markets, we've been to auctions, we've travelled abroad. So all in all, it's been a fabulous challenge.
I thought I turned in quite an acceptable figure, but I'm rather mindful of an early school report that would forever say Eric must try that bit harder.
Well, we've seen a fabulous fight this week between our two experts. They may have made it look easy, but they've both done a sterling job and had many sleepless nights as they've toiled away trying to raise as much money as possible for their chosen charities.
My chosen charity is the Chiltern Centre for Disabled Children, based in Henley-on-Thames. And it's a centre that supports local children and younger folk with learning and physical disabilities.
My chosen charity is Headway. Now, I just happen to be patron, and Headway do a fantastic nationwide job helping those poor folk who've suffered from debilitating brain and head injuries. It's not just the victims they help, but it's also all those affected, primarily the family.
That's two great causes that will benefit from our experts' efforts. They've both worked their socks off, and I think it's fair to say they've passed the put your money where your mouth is challenge with flying colours.